Well, Facebook Messenger helped investigators charge a Nebraska woman for helping her teenage daughter get an abortion. In the subpoenaed messages, the mother and daughter discussed using medication to end the approximately 24-week pregnancy. But Nebraska law prohibits abortion after 20 weeks. However, Meta is setting the record straight now, saying that the police warrants did not mention abortion at all. In a statement, Meta saying that court documents indicate that police were at that time investigating the alleged illegal burning and burial of a stillborn infant, and that the warrants came with a non-disclosure order that have been lifted. Now Meta saying that it is testing end-to-end encryption in Messenger. It will join other apps like iMessage, WhatsApp, Telegram, and Viber, which all have end-to-end encrypted chats. And what that means is that the apps don't have access to messages unless the user reports them. So joining me now is attorney Kyla Coleman. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
There's been so much outrage and online chatter about this case. What was your reaction when you heard about it for the first time?
Well, honestly, just listening to or looking at the reports, what was entailed in the Facebook messages was pretty sad. I mean, to have a child essentially have an abortion at 24 weeks was pretty scary for me. I want to know a lot more about the case, why she wanted to have an abortion, what was going on between the mom and the daughter for them to be discussing this on Facebook. It's so many questions that I have about this case.
Were you surprised that Facebook handed over those messages so quickly?
I actually was, because I've heard, that Facebook has been really a keeper of the gates in most cases. But looking at the statistics, it says about 88% of the time they're handing over documents to the police. But, the warrant seems to be valid. And a lot of times when you have a warrant and you do searches, you actually stumble upon other crimes that might have happened, which I think is what happened in this case. They might have been trying to figure out what was going on with the stillbirth and whatnot, and end up finding that this young lady had an abortion that was planned.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying that it's not deception on the part of the police. It's sometimes just the way that investigations develop, that you don't know the facts until you know more.
Exactly. And that's the reason why they issue warrants in the first place, is to kind of, delve into the case more and see if there's anything else that happened that they, didn't disclose to officers during the original investigation.
Do you think, will states with these abortion laws try to find a loophole eventually around end-to-end encrypted messaging apps?
Absolutely. When the law was first created, when we first, got here to the United States, technology like this was not around. We did not even, think that a Facebook or Twitter or anything would be around. So the law is actually growing in the area of technology. So states, may be able to find some loopholes early on when we don't have a lot of cases that are heavily involving Facebook messages or Twitter messages.
And this incident with the Nebraska mother actually happened before the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. So at issue here is really at 24 weeks of pregnancy versus 20 weeks under Nebraska law. But I want to ask, will we see more of these cases now going forward, most likely?
Absolutely. And I think the United States is really going to be keeping a close watch on what happens in this Nebraska case, because the way the prosecutors handled this may be the key for other prosecutors in other states to handle it the same way. But like you said before, this issue came up prior to Roe v. Wade being overturned, and this is a pretty late-term abortion here.
What would you expect to see more of going forward?
Well, one, I would hope that people are not discussing private matters like this on Facebook. But I'm hoping that, as Meta released, that people will have to give permission in order for their messages to be turned over. So now it feels like the individuals that are using Facebook and whatnot will have a little bit more privacy and a little more expectation that information like this won't be turned over to the police without their permission.
All right, Attorney Kyla Coleman, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.